Okay, so we have the photo booth working, and I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of how it works. This is what the computer looks like, and my reflection is in the computer. So obviously there's the webcam. It has a piece of Velcro on it, so it helps it stay up there. And then it's pretty self-explanatory. So press the spacebar to begin, spacebar on the laptop. And over here on the side are the little settings, and you will never have to mess with those. But just in case you're wondering what those buttons are, it's for Spark Booth, which is the name of the program. So you can adjust the setup and the camera settings and all that good stuff. But like I said, you'll never have to use that. Here is the little printer. It's a Canon Selfie CP800, and the paper tray is right up front here. The paper tray actually comes out just like that. It's pretty simple. And then there is a place for ink. I'll show you how to add paper and ink at the end. And then underneath here I keep little bins. It has the ink cartridges, and then also has, oops, a little stuck. Well, that drawer has the paper in it. So there's just those two little cords that come out of the printer. There is the charging cord for the laptop back here, and one of those is for the printer, and then one is for the webcam. And then when I set it up, I keep all the cords as minimal as possible. There's my feet. And if I need to, I try and run the cords together. I bring a power strip, and then if there's a ways to go to a power outlet, then I'll just use an extension cord that I bring with me, a white extension cord, and I tape everything together and or down just to make sure nothing is a tripping hazard. So here is a very, very rough setup of how the photo booth works. The sign, props, place to cut, and the actual booth itself. The only thing we're missing is a backdrop, which would go right about here. And it's going to be, oh, that's Pablo, sorry. It's going to be hanging, and I'll have it already hung by the time you get there. And guests stand obviously against the backdrop facing the laptop. We'll also have a couple like banquet tables set up, or at least one banquet table, maybe one smaller table for props, guests to like put down their drinks, and then a little area for you or the guest to also cut their photo strip with that. So my light is not set up very good, and obviously you have to imagine a backdrop happening behind me, but I'm going to go ahead and run you through the process of how it works. And I'm hoping you can see it clearly. If not, well, use your imagination. But it should work out okay, I think. So press the spacebar to begin, and you want to make sure, see how behind the spacebar, like, that's my face back there? Hello! So, I set it up so that the people's like general head and like mid-torso up is what is in the frame. So when I start it, you'll kind of see me take a couple steps back. So I'm going to go ahead and press the space bar. It's going to count me down. So I'll leave it up close so you can see how that works. Okay, so it just took the photo and it just dropped it there in that square. So it's counting me down for the next one. So I'm going to do something cute. Or kind of cute. So there's where that happens. It's counting me down again, so I'm going to try another something. Oop, I didn't quite make it in time. Let's try that one again. Okay, so now it says, please wait developing the photos, and I'll show you what that screen does. So it drops all the photos I just took. Right there. You can hear the printer's already starting to go. there it is. And that displays for I think 10 seconds, so the guests can see it. Thank you. And back to the start. So it's printing now, and it prints CMYK. So obviously you know what that means. So it goes through 4 times, and on the screen it shows you which one it's printing. And it's all done. So obviously these are horrific photos because I did not stand in the same place, and the light and coloring is rather obnoxious. But as you can imagine, I'll set up the lighting against the backdrop, and usually it's consistent lighting. So usually when it starts out earlier in the daytime, when it's brighter out, I don't have to turn studio lights on. In the evening time, if it gets dark, I'll turn the studio lights on just so it gets a crisper image. But obviously we have our 4x6 here. So then what you do is come over here, and I'm gonna cut it in half. It might not be a very good cut in half job, but I'm gonna try it. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So that did an okay cutting job. Obviously it's better when you can use both hands. Sorry. Oh, okay, not too bad. So there they are. Had to kind of pull them apart a little bit. And then the only other thing is at the top of these, there is a little like, I don't know what you call it. Perforated edge. That's what you call it. So I go ahead and take those off. Really easy like that. And I always try and make sure there's a little garbage can right by the photo booth to put any garbage of any sort. So there's the final product. So I know you saw this example yesterday, but just a better example of like lighting and placement of how the people are, and what the final product, when more effort and thought is put into it, looks like. It's pretty fun. It actually turned out really cute. That's my good friend and other assistant Miranda in the red hair. That's Nick and Trisha. Nick's little eyeballs at the bottom, and Trisha's got the mustache. They were a couple last December. So there it is. Kind of fun. So I'm going to show you how to change the paper cartridge, and it's super easy. Take the paper out like I showed you before. This little plastic part comes right up, and the paper goes down underneath there. Glossy side up. Paper's in this little drawer down here, like I said. Just pull a pack of paper out. Typically just put 1 pack of paper in. If you overstuff it, it's going to jam. Back side of the paper says Canon. Put the glossy side up. And once you reload it, just close the little top there and put it right back in. If you get confused, there are little instructions right on the little thing for the paper. If the ink runs out, just turn the printer to the side, open up the side door, little red button, shoots it right out, and out comes the cartridge. And if it is out of ink, it will tell you on the little screen here, right up there, it will say ink cassette is empty. So if it says that, or you notice it's either not printing or not continuing on the screen, typically it will continue on the screen. It's the only hiccup. So it will shoot a couple more photo booth sessions. Even if it's not printing them, it'll put it in the printing queue. So if it's either out of paper or out of ink, until either of those things are fixed, obviously it won't print. Once you fix either of those things, it should catch up on what it missed. And if it doesn't, all these photos get posted online with the couple's online gallery on my website, which I have a little sign that clarifies that. which is good too. But if the ink runs out, then like we saw before, down there's the paper, up here's the ink. You just take it out of the cassette and you put it right in the side, the little side over here like I showed you before. Take it out of the wrapper, take the old cartridge out, put the new cartridge in, and voila! So the only thing that happens when either the paper or the ink runs out is you come up here to the screen, and once you've replaced, I don't think it does the paper, I think it's once you have replaced the ink, you need to manually tell it to resume printing. And the way you do that is you go up to this little arrow, the minimize for the spark booth. We minimize it and then minimize the actual screen, and right here there's going to be a little box that says resume printing, and you just click OK. So unfortunately, when guests either run out of paper or run out of ink with the booth and they think that they can fix it themselves, even if they get the paper in and even if they get the ink in, they don't know that that little dialog box is going to pop up. And I've tried disabling it and I can't. So you have to know to manually just minimize the screen, click OK, and then just bring the screen right back up. And down here, sorry, the reflection's hard to see. Down here there is a, on the toolbar, the little booth symbol is Spark Booth. You can pull it up, and, oh, I hate Windows. Okay, and then maximize the program again, and start again. You're good to go. So it's pretty simple. Maybe watch this again to help, but it really is simple. Like I said, there's only the two things that could go wrong, either the paper or the printer, or I'm sorry, the paper or the ink. Just put more paper in, excuse me, put a new ink cassette in, and I really do think the only thing it prompts you for is if the ink runs out, that's the one you have to click OK on. But other than that, it'll keep itself going. I think in those packs of paper, it's like 20 sheets, 15 or 20 sheets, and so obviously it just kind of, if you put a new pack of paper in, kind of take note of how many people you see kind of run through it. Even when I'm shooting, it's usually during reception time, so I just keep a second eye on it if it looks like there's any sort of issues with it. There's a little sign that I put up that says, you know, if there's problems, don't touch it, come get one of the photographers. And people usually do pretty good with it, and you'll get to be manning it for most of the evening, so that's pretty simple too. And I'll be in really close proximity, so if you need help with anything, just come grab me, or like I said, I'll be able to keep an eye on it and you as well. So if I notice something's gone awry, I'll come in too. So I hope that was fun. Here, I'll show you. Ooh, I hope that was probably really close. I'm so excited we get to work together, and I think the photo booth will be really fun, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, thanks. Bye!